Five Below. What is this? Hey everyone, and welcome back to the network, where today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're actually going to be looking at an item that I picked up from Five Below, of all places. And there is a little bit of a story behind this, but we'll get into that when, we get a little further into the video. But without any further introduction, let's go ahead and get this thing out of the bag and see what we're working with. Okay, so here we are. This is a retro video game console from Five Below. Now this thing, of course, it was at Five Below, but it was $10. So if you're not familiar with what a Five Below is, that should basically sum it up for you. It's kind of like a Dollar General where everything's supposed to be $5 and below, and occasionally you get things like this where it's clearly above $5. But taking a look at the package, it says we have 200 games included and play all of the classics. And it says the item dimensions down here and that it requires 3 AAA batteries, which are not included, but we should be fine. But then you have this controller up here, which is clearly modeled after an NES controller, and a little CRT TV, which I think is cool. So this thing is like 100% portable, where your screen and your controller are all bundled together, and you could just take this wherever, play it at your desk if you want. And it even says play games anywhere, anytime. So flipping it over to the back, it says retro video game console. It says large selection of 200 unique video games, a 2.8-inch TFT screen, adjustable volume, and it requires 3 AAA alkaline batteries that are not included. Now I just happened to find this thing on the shelf when perusing Five Below for some different parts to make some costumes, and I see this thing sitting on the shelf. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. It comes with a screen and you can actually play this wherever. And then when I'm looking at the back, I'm like, this right here kind of looks like a reskin of either Kaboom or that Atari illicit game. And I'm like, okay, I gotta get this thing and see exactly what's on it, because whenever you see devices like this where it has 200 games included, you immediately think of these things that we took a look at previously from AliExpress, where they're basically NES clones and they have a lot of illegal ROMs on them. So I'm like, all right, Five Below, let's see, are you better than those, or are you just as good? I mean, from these screenshots, they look to be original NES games and not just stolen ROMs, but we will see. We will see. Is Five Below indeed selling illegal ROMs? But that's enough with the packaging. Let's go ahead and open this thing up. So it looks like we just have one sticker at the top here, and then, oh wow, this package really did not withstand a beating. It ripped right off the bat. Oh, actually, there's more than one sticker. There's 3. All right, let's go ahead and we'll grab a knife. That's probably why it's $10, is because they have to make up for the 3 stickers they put on this thing in order to secure it. Let's go ahead and pull this thing out of the box. Yeah, there is nothing else in the box. It's literally just a box. Interesting. It's weird that it didn't come with any instructions just thrown down in the bottom. But we got our NES style controller down here, and oh my god, what is this? Oh my god, it's like a mini NES. Oh, that's so funny. And then we have our TV screen here, obviously, and mine was inserted upside down, so that's kind of funny. For it being pretty cheap, this feels pretty good. Oh my gosh, I just can't get over it. This is so fun. It's a little NES. And looking at our TV, it does have a USB-C port on the back, so I guess you can charge this or power this via USB-C in case you didn't want to put the batteries in it, but we'll go ahead and we'll test it with the batteries. Then you got an on and off switch. This should be our adjustable volume, and it was at max, I believe, from default. And then there's a reset button and another button that is undescribed, so I'm not too sure what those do. But I guess our little manual that was hastily thrown down there, we could potentially figure out what that does. Oh my gosh, look at this font. It literally is like NES font. That's kind of funny. So let's go ahead and take a quick little look at this and see what we can deduce. It doesn't actually say what that is. It just says 5 is a reset button, so I guess that both switches on the front reset. Your retro game console can be powered with a USB-C cable not included. So okay, so that USB port on the back is for powering it in case you don't want to use batteries. Oh, and then it has a list of all the games. But we don't want to spoil it. So let's go ahead and put some batteries in here and take a look at what is on this thing. I'll probably readjust the camera too so that we can look at it, you know, front on instead of at this weird angle. Alright, so we now have batteries in our little TV and a new camera angle to make things a little easier when we're trying to play this thing, but let's go ahead and we'll set these things up a little better. Actually, wait a minute, is this hole a loop for you to put like one of those lanyards in? Are you supposed to wear this around? Why would you do that? But let's go ahead and turn this thing on. Oh wow. Okay, so the quality of this screen actually is not that bad. I'm quite surprised. This looks pretty good. The best way to describe this is basically put your phone behind sort of like a bubble, and that's pretty much what this looks like. So there's clearly a flat screen in there, and then you have this raised piece of plastic to kind of emulate that of a CRT. So upon first inspection, it looks like we have action, fighting, sport, shoot, racing, and puzzle games on this thing. And I don't know how well this is being made out on the video because I did turn the volume down, but it sounds like it's playing music from Mega Man, which is kind of weird, and if we're looking at it from the legality standpoint, they shouldn't be using that. So knock number one on the legality counter so far. But let's see what they have for actual games on this thing. So if we head on into the action tab, A doesn't do it, B doesn't do it. Okay, you gotta press start. We have Forest Adventure, Rabbit Village, Bitha, Bounce, Rescue Nuck, Turtles, something Arena. All these things are really weird names. Zero Gravity. Okay, so to check to see if these are actually, you know, stolen ROMs, let's go down and see if Turtles number 6 is TMNT. Because normally when it says Turtles, it's TMNT, but so far it doesn't look like it is. One player. Player 1, stage 1, left 5, high score. Oh, well, that guy's fritzing out on the thing. Okay, so clearly this is not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so that's good. Let's go ahead, we'll just bounce back to the other thing. Oh, I guess when you hit reset, it just takes you back to the 45 in 1 menu, which is weird because it said there was 200. But I guess there's only 45 in this section, so let's see what else we have. We got Conquer, Escapeway, Bug Catcher, Island, Danger Bridge. No, let's go down and see Mad Xmas. I bet you this is that Christmas one that we saw on the back cover where Santa Claus was dropping stuff on that elf. Yep, there it is. This does not feel that great. I mean, it looks really good. For this being like a 5, or not even like an under 5-inch screen, this looks pretty good. I would say it's on par with probably the PSP 3000 in terms of like image quality, or like, well, it's definitely better than a Nintendo DS, I can say that much. It looks really good. I'm actually kind of impressed for 10 bucks. This isn't too bad. And so far we don't have anything that's like noteworthy in terms of ROM choice, but let's go ahead and we'll leave our Santa game, and then we'll see what else we have on here. How do we go back? Okay, select goes back. Let's see what they have under shoot. Do they have Contra, or a Contra-like clone? It says 56 in 1. There apparently is actually 56 too. So let's see. 5 days. What is 5 days? I guess it's the inverse of Five Nights at Freddy's. So instead we have 5 days at Freddy's. Let's see. Oh, okay. So it's like a tower defense game then, huh? And what's weird is you can't actually aim at that guy. Oh, no. I think I'm gonna get got. Wow, the animations of this are like really good too. Are these NES games, or is this the kind of stuff that you'd find on like you know, those Chinese clones that you could get, like those controllers that had games preloaded on it? Because this is kind of looking a little more like that, if I'm being honest. Like they're clearly modeled after NES games, but these aren't actually NES games. And I mean, you know, for it being hooked up to this little Nintendo, you would think that they put a little more into that, you know, that's a little more NES, even like the open source ones. Let's see what this Garden War is. Like, is this supposed to be like, what is that thing, Plants vs. Zombies? Or is this supposed to be something other than that? Because the name kind of gives it the idea that it's Plants vs. Zombies, but it is not. This looks like, what is this, like, Oh, what's that game? It's structured like Galaga, kind of. Although these are bugs, and somehow the plants can afford surface-to-air missiles, which is kind of funny when you sit down and you think about it. But I mean, this isn't too bad. It's your average Joe. I still can't get over like how good. Surprisingly, this screen looks really, really good inside of this little TV. Like if this was on my desk at work, it would be great. Like I would waste so much time trying to find something decent to play on this thing. All right, let's take a look at the racing games. Do we have something that is similar to, say, like... Oh, there's only 17. Let's try Pong Pong and see what that one is. What is this? So I'm clearly the red guy. Oh, is it like bumper cars? Is that what this is supposed to be? Is like a... Because I don't have control over the direction, I just kind of go. I mean, so far it looks like this is bumper cars. And as I'm playing through these, if you do happen to know what NES game this is based off of, like if this is just a ROM swap or if it's an original thing, go ahead and leave it down in the comments below, because I'd be curious to know. I know that on the ones that we picked up from AliExpress, there were some that were seemingly original, but they were just reskins of, you know, NES games with really funny names. So let's go ahead and leave this thing. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at a puzzle game, and then after that we'll go ahead and wrap this video up. What sounds interesting? Hitmouse? Let's go ahead and see what Hitmouse is. Oh, it's whack-a-mole. Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's easy. Oh, I don't want to whack the little Pikmin looking guy. Look at it. Oh, and I did it again. Literally says let's not do that and then does it anyway. That's me in a nutshell. Okay, yeah, I could see this one being fun for like little kids. They can sit down and then they can play virtual whack-a-mole. And it's pretty easy because everything's done with just the D-pad. Would I classify this as a puzzle game? Not really. This isn't really much of a puzzle game. I would think a puzzle game would be more along the lines of like Tetris or Puyo Puyo or something similar to that versus this, because you know this is really you just hit a button. And so far we're at a score of 33 and we ran out of time. I made 6,300. Okay, well that was pretty good. You know, I gotta say, I'm surprised this thing actually didn't have a whole bunch of illegal NES ROMs on it. From what I can tell, they were original or at least reskins of pre-existing NES games. So that's actually kind of surprising. Good job, Five Below. All right, with that, I'd say that this little device is actually pretty cool. I would say that if you have a Five Below near you, go ahead and pick this up. If for anything, just this screen alone, like, I don't know how good this camera is doing justice, but in person, this thing actually looks really, really good. But yeah, I would definitely say that if there's someone younger or someone who grew up with the NES, this would be like a perfect gift to give them for, you know, the holidays this year, because it's a really like condensed device and it sounds good. You have a decent amount of games, you can adjust it. I still can't get over how good this screen looks. Like it even has that CRT glow, if you can tell. But yeah, with that, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, remember to drop a like and make that subscribe button glow so that you don't miss any future content. And if you have any suggestions for things you'd like to see us take a look at, be sure to leave it down in the comments or pitch it at our official Discord server. Link down below in case you're interested in stopping by. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.